Welcome to the Jersey City Show. Pat Amelia here. As usual, your concerned Jersey City resident. Why you watch the show, why I do the show. I try to inform you, educate you, entertain you. Hopefully I hit 2 out of the 3. We're doing this live on Comcast Channel 190. We're doing this live on livestream.com. You should download the app. You can watch me on your smartphone, your tablet, your web-enabled television. I think they're all web-enabled now when you buy a new one. For that matter, I was watching, my wife watches Home Shopping. They had a 75-inch Samsung, which I think is the best television. It could do everything. It was web-enabled, came fully loaded with apps and Showtime and all this. I think it can communicate with the dead, and it was like $1,900. When you see, you buy a TV and a year, 2 years later, you see how obsolete your TV is. And they deliver it. They'll come in your house and set it up. Hang it on your wall if you want. That's a lot of TV too. 75-inch television. I'm showing my age. I remember when a big TV was 25-inch. I remember we got an RCA, color of course, 25-inch, and that was huge. People would come over the house to look at it. Ooh, look at that big TV. Man, that's a big TV, 25-inch. It was huge. When I'm not kidding you, people would stop by the house. Getting back to the show, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live on Google Chrome, we're live on Apple TV, the Roku system. Roku system's doing quite well, too. They've just announced their numbers for the last year. Did really good. The future is in streaming. Even Comcast, they're going all in on the streaming. Make sure you get good modem speed. You got to have at least 100 up. For that matter, I got to talk to Optimum about some modems. Not in this studio. Here we got BIOS. But getting back to what you should know, you can reach me if you need at HMG TV Shows. You can send me an email there under the contact. You got a show idea, you want an announcement to make, you got some news, you got some help, you got a problem with the city, you got a problem with the county, you got a consumer issue. We'd be here to help. You can tweet me at JC Hudson Media. I'm like the easiest guy in the world to get in touch with. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we got the 8th CDO War. You got the reorganization meeting, I think it's June the 12th. Amy DeGise versus Brian Stack. Talk about a David and Goliath. We're going to talk about the Katyn Monument. Good thing it has legs because it's about to move. We're going to talk about the international mess that it became. And, I got a lot of respect for Philip, but he completely fumbled the handling of this monument. Sports betting is now illegal in New Jersey. And within 2 weeks, you're going to see the sports betting become live here in New Jersey. I want to talk about hating. Tweeting with some people last night, and it's amazing how many people feel hate for the mayor of Jersey City, and they also feel the mayor hates them. So I want to go into that a little bit. It's a whole world of social media. You got Seatown in Jersey City on Central Avenue. Looks like it's going to close. It's going to be redevelopment. We got bike people. Want to talk about bike people and bike to work in Jersey City. But first, I got a break for commercial. You're watching us live, and we'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. Welcome back, Jersey City Show, live. It's live everywhere. Live. I like playing with the papers. That's my new thing. I've added that in along with the watch and the collars and the lapels. Let's get right into it. The 8th CDO War. Yeah, I'm not even really sure how much a war this is going to be. Tom DeGise, the county exec, was looking and he was looking and he was scouring Jersey City for a opponent for Brian Stack. There was talk, they spoke to Sean Connors and Jerry Walker and Zadroda Hart and everywhere they can look. For most political insiders, they were not about to oppose Brian Stack. 'Cause here's the thing. Stack's going to be around another 30 years, and he is only becoming more powerful as the years go by. And eventually, he's going to be the big kahuna. If he's not the big kahuna now, he's at least kahuna 1 or 1A. They tried everywhere, and of course, the sensitive Tom DeGise said, last thing we wanted was some old white guy to run. So now we're dismissing old white guys. I'm not exactly the old white guy yet, but I'm not that far away. And I said last week, and we talked about some of the issues with the committee people in this vote, and who should run against Brian. Now, to the victors go the spoils, the winners write history and all that crap. In politics, you don't usually embrace your adversary after the election is done. Usually, you bury them. So as I said last week, they needed somebody who basically had no political future, because the future is bright for Brian Stack and Steve Fulop and Robbie Balla in Hoboken. These are the young bucks, and even Dr. Roque. Dr. Roque, I guess the doc, late 50s. But Robbie, Brian, Steve, they're young guys. They're going to be around a while, and they are the future. So if you were going to run somebody against Brian Stack and Steve Fulop, the mega powers, it would be somebody without a political future. And I said Tom DeGise himself, because after Tom's done with his present term as county exec, he's not going to get the line. Brian Stack will prevail. They will have their own county exec, and they can run offline, that sort of thing, but that's not going to work here. Because even statewide, the state is starting to coalesce around Brian Stack. And there's some talk, the governor, who originally, again, this is talk, rumors, all these political prophets putting their 2 cents in, that Governor Murphy wanted Brian heading up the 8 CDO, because Brian is an organizer. He can get out the vote. He just got like 14,000 votes out of Union City. But then there are other people saying, well, Brian's very close with Steve Sweeney, and Steve Sweeney is a possible opponent for term 2 of Governor Murphy. Now, keep in mind, I think Murphy's been a governor for about 150 some odd days, so we got a little while to go before we worry about Sweeney. So what you wanted was somebody who couldn't get hurt. Now, Amy DeGise, smart kid, she's on the Board of Education, educated, is not the candidate I would have picked. Now, like Tom DeGise was saying, they were talking to everyone. They wanted to get somebody out of Jersey City. Minority was spoken about. They came up with Amy DeGise. So it wasn't too far to look. They went for his daughter. Tom should have done this himself. And, there's a lot of rhetoric going on between Stack and DeGise. And the funny thing is, when Tom starts talking about this war and who he blames Fulop, I'm going to tell you something. Publicly, Fulop has basically been disengaged from this. You very seldom hear anything from Steve Fulop about this 8 CDO war. But I will say this about Steve Fulop. He is a calculating individual. Brian is very out front. You ask Brian a question, he's going to give you an unfiltered answer. Tommy should be going head-to-head against Brian, and in essence, the mega powers. That's his opponents. These are the people he perceives have done him wrong. And I will stand by my assertion that Tom DeGise is collateral damage. Who the real target here is 101A, Nicholas Sacco, in the mega powers of Hudson County here. Sacco, I don't want to say controls everything, but he certainly has a large say in it. But he has earned that large say. I'm not mistaken, Nick Sacco has been the mayor in North Bergen since the 80s. He has been a state senator somewhere since the 90s. He has built his political base. He has been dealing on the county and state level before some of these guys got into politics, got elected. And there are people that say, well, Nick Sacco has so much influence at the county and the sheriff's department and the high-tech schools and every level of county government. That's probably true. But he earned it. He earned it by being a survivor, being probably one of the greatest, brightest political minds we have here in Hudson County. And one thing Nick Sacco could do is read the tea leaves. He knows who to back, who not to back. Even if he's not publicly involved, he's in the background, coaching, assisting. I think Nick Sacco, for all the effort and all the maneuvers he'll pull off, because he is, in essence, the 8th CDO. Really, the 8th CDO is Sacco and Bob Menendez. Now, Bob Menendez leaves and he comes back. He leaves and he comes back. He's in Washington. So, yeah, Nick has been calling a lot of shots in the 8th CDO for a long time. But he's earned that for being here a long time. He's been here since, before Januszewski. He's been around a long time. He's earned that influence. But you got the young bulls. And it's kind of a repeat. In 2002, you had Glenn D. Cunningham, very similar situation. He wanted Jersey City to have a bigger say in the county government, which is what Mayor Fulop wants. The difference this time is Glenn went a solo act. Brian and Steve Fulop, they're working together, and there's the two other mayors. It is a different scenario this time. But it's going to have a different... See, I firmly believe, had Glenn Cunningham not passed on in 2004? 2005. I think it's early 2005 now. He would have been successful in eventually taking over the 8th CDO because he was winning his battles. He was the mayor. He became state senator in the 31st District, knocking out, Joe Doria, 22-year assembly person. He was thought untouchable in the 31st. But things will change. But when we come back from commercial, we'll talk more about this. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together. We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. Collar, lapel, watch. Got to do that. Getting back to the 8th CDO War, I think it's going to have a much different result than it did in 2002 or 2007, and the last time the skirmishes happened. Jersey City is the battlefield. There are 364 committee votes there. I think it's, 21 districts in Jersey City, something of that nature. And when you start talking about the other towns, I think York has 10 committee people, Union City, North Bergen, 50, something like that. They're minute numbers in comparison with Jersey City. Now, as I'm hearing things, and I'm sure all the political prophets here are hearing things, there are those who believe they can get a majority of the Jersey City committee people to go against Stack and Fulop. For that matter, it was said to me there is a former political operative of Steve Fulop's, initials TB, that control 100 or some odd committee people. I want to tell you, TB doesn't control any of those committee people. Out of the 364 committee people, probably around 300 or so are loyal to Fulop. Over the last 5 years, Fulop's been supporting committee people. He's been transferring committee people who were Healy people before. He's now put in Fulop people. He can almost guarantee where he's going to come out. In this whole Hudson County mess, as they start figuring out these votes, Jersey City is going to come out overwhelmingly for Fulop and Stack, and probably with good reason. And North Hudson, Union City will be 100% for Brian Stack. North Bergen will probably be maybe 20% Brian Stack. There are people working against the CDO in North Bergen. Brian Stack will do okay in West New York. He has been mining that constituency base in North Hudson for a long, long time. Brian Stack's name is magic in North Hudson. So I think he'll do okay in West New York. I don't even know if Guttenberg has a committee person. Maybe one. I'm sure he'll do okay there. Weehawken, I'm sure Brian will do well. People are talking about Union City and North Bergen offsetting each other. I think Brian gets about 20%, maybe 25% of the committee people there. Now, it's going to be a secret vote, and the vote is going to be held in Kearney. The idea of holding it in Kearney is to hold down attendance. Hard to get to Kearney, to bring all these committee people there. Now, in a ideal situation, where mass transit, the very limited we have in Hudson County, you'd probably put it at the Lowe's Theater, some big auditorium. Bring all the committee people in and have it there, but it's easy to get to Journal Square from anywhere in Hudson County. So you don't want to do that. But there is strong sentiment here. The lower the turnout, the better it is for the present CDO. If you, for a minute, don't think Brian and Steve are going to bust people if they have to, you're kidding yourself. Every vote that Brian Stack and Fulop need will be in Kearney. And it's a secret ballot, too. I've never gone to a committee meeting. They were usually in a school auditorium, that sort of thing, a yay, nay sort of thing. The committee people have a real dilemma here. Now, there are committee people who, are very friendly with Tom DeGise, like Tom DeGise, respect Nick Sacco and the whole group. But there's Brian Stack, who they have a tremendous amount of respect for, and Steve Fulop. But if you're looking long term, you're playing the long game, and you're a committee person, now even if it's a secret ballot, they can kind of figure out how these votes are going to fall. They're the people who know exactly how these votes will fall. Even in general elections, they know who's voting, how it's going to vote, that sort of thing. That's why they call these elections so early on election night. Any committee people that think, I'm going to vote against Brian and Fulop, you're basically terminating your committee career, if there is such a thing. Many of these committee people have some sort of political influence or a position or a municipal or a county job, that sort of thing. The future is Brian Stack and Steve Fulop. And again, this is no disrespect for the present CDO leadership. But the present CDO leadership, as Tom DeGise so eloquently talked of, is a bunch of old white guys. And it's true. A lot of these guys are pushing 70. Brian and Steve Fulop, if they so elected Brian Stack, I know. Well, we'll read someday, if I'm alive, that Brian died at his desk in Union City. He will be in Union City forever and ever and ever until he croaks. Now, Steve Fulop, I don't know if he is as politically dedicated as Brian Stack is. I don't know if anyone is politically dedicated as Brian Stack, with the exception of possibly Nicholas Sacco, the mayor of North Bergen. But Fulop, He'll be around as long as he wants. The guy just won by 78% of the vote, which is one of the things that amazed me when they're looking for somebody to take on in Jersey City, take on the mega power with Brian Stack and Steve Fulop. Fulop just won, what was it, like 78% of the vote? He's in fine shape in Jersey City, and Brian Stack is a legend. As I call him, the deity in Union City. And he's developing that base in Jersey City. And he works it hard. Like I've said before on the show, guys in my hallway all the time. I'll come home and there's a picture of Brian Stack in my hallway, in my vestibule. And I'm like, Brian Stack in my vestibule. And it's like, he's inviting me to a barbecue. You got any problem? Here's my cell number. Give me a call. I'll call you back eventually. Now, what will happen, Brian Stack, I believe, will be the next HCDO chair. And that is going to cause running offline. Now, the big thing in November is Bob Menendez is up for re-election. He's in a tight election, even though his numbers are really good. You think Bob Menendez wants to run offline in the HCDO land? Of course not. Now, what will probably happen going into 2019, there may be an offshoot Democratic Party. The Reform Democrats, the Freedom Democrats, whatever the frickin' name would be. This will be an ongoing war until attrition will eventually settle it. But what has started here, the effect will be felt for the next 2 to 3 years. There will be no peace here, but there will be a lot of reorganization, and that's what's going to happen in Hudson County. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. We'll be right back.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org. Looking important, shuffling my papers. I've got a couple other things here. Jersey City Show, Pat Amelia, you're concerned, I'm concerned, we should all be concerned. Before we get into, what's the next thing we're getting into here? Oh, the statue. You're lucky there aren't a lot of Polish people. You better hope there's no Polish committee people there, Mayor Fulop. The difference this time around in this political skirmish as opposed to 2002 and 2007, 2002, Glenn D. Cunningham stood alone against, it was 1 against 11. 2007, Brian Stack stood alone, 1 against 11. Yes, he ran a renegade organization. He eventually would win the state senate, ousting Bernie Kenny. He can get votes, even running against the organization. This time, you got the mega powers, Stack and Fulop. There's no soloing it at this time. There'll be organization. Brian Stack is probably the greatest political organizer we have in Hudson County, probably statewide. And he is that well respected as an organizer. And you have Fulop, who is calculating and funded. Now, Fulop can read the tea leaves too. Sometimes he stirs those tea leaves up, but he can raise money, something Brian can't do, not to the level of Fulop. This is why this is going to be very different. And along for the ride this time are 2 other mayors, Roquet in West New York, Bala in Hoboken. In the past, it was just one guy. Here's an actual team. And in the shadows, really what Brian and Fulop should say, they should have some sort of a public meeting where you got to bring the people out of the shadows. Who's with you, who's not? Let's find out where everybody lies, or lives, whatever way you want to look at it. There's a couple of meanings to the word lie in Hudson County. But the fact is, in Hudson County, the future is now. All right, international mess. Jersey City went international here with the monument, the Katyn Monument, whichever you want to pronounce that. It represents a memorial to the 22,000 Polish soldiers and doctors and civilians and all walks of life that were massacred by Russian soldiers during World War II. And it's been on the waterfront since 1991. Stabby guys, a lot of us in Jersey City call them. No disrespect, it's just what we call them. We're Jersey City people. We went international with this, and this situation had everything. Had everything you wanted in a local, international, statewide, federal, everything. We had racism. We had anti-Semitism. We had attempts to write history. We had revisiting the Cold War. We had WW2, World War II disrespect. We had Russian money and investments. Everything played into this statue. Why are we relocating this statue? There's, the developer on that site down there, Mr. DeMarco from Matt Cali. Very poor choice of words saying it is a gruesome statue. Listen, it is not the most appealing statue. It's not a happy statue. It's not Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse standing there, you know what I mean? It is a frightening statue, but it depicts what happened with the massacre. Are we going to show the statue, or am I just going to talk? I don't see the statue up. We should probably put the statue up. There it is. And it's been down there on the waterfront. As people come into New York City and Jersey City, they see that. And you have to Google it. You have to ask somebody, what is that statue about? So it is very poignant. Now, the developer would like this thing to move, would like those legs to get up and get walking. And Mayor Fulop went along with this. Now, you have to question, who the hell advises Mayor Fulop sometime? The thought that we are going to move a monument in Jersey City, even though it's international, it's not a Jersey City or a state or in the United States situation of memorializing, even though it's Poland. Did anybody in City Hall think this wasn't going to cause a problem? Really? Now, did anybody think it was going to cause an international problem? Probably not. But you think we were just going to crane this thing and take it and move it into storage and then figure what we were going to do with it later. That was not going to happen. A settlement has been reached. Negotiations. Diplomacy. Oddly enough, with Poland. And the committee, what's left of the Katyn Memorial Committee, they have all agreed to move the statue about 200 feet to York Street on the waterfront. The city will do a 99-year lease, I think for $1 a year, or maybe no dollars a year. And the city will put some money towards relocating it, which is BS. If you're going to relocate it, you're footing the whole bill. Actually, a site where it sits right now, Matt Cali and the Business Improvement District there, the SID, they should pay for the complete relocation. If it is to relocate. There's no guarantees of that yet. There's still a federal lawsuit. There's still a lot of detail. You can take it to the bank. James Solomon is going to pop up very strong here. Richie Borgiano has very strong feelings. Michael Yoon has very strong feelings on this. Because, Mike is probably looking at the Korean War Monument. There's hits out by some condominiums by a park. And he's like, wait a minute. I could be next. They may want to move the Korean War Monument. This isn't done. There's a federal lawsuit. And who filed it? Bill Massachusetts is part of it. And allegedly, and this just popped up, there are the remains of the massacred soldiers in, I guess, the base of the statue. I don't know if that's true. But a negotiation has been reached. Tentatively, they're going to move this But here's the problem. Mayor Fulop had repeatedly said we were going to have some community meetings, that we would get the input from the community on what they think should be done with this statue. I do want to go on record. I think the statue should stay where it is, where it's been for almost 30 years. Steve neglected to have those neighborhood meetings. We have none. There have been no neighborhood meetings, no downtown meetings. And really, in this situation, it's a Jersey City statue on Jersey City land. It really should be the entire city. You know, maybe it's something you want to put on as a referendum. We're going to have an election in November anyway. We don't have a lot on the line. So Jersey City, we may as well put a referendum in there about the statue. Or have some Jersey Journal do something as an online to get the real feelings of what should be done. But we got a break for commercial, and I'll pick this up on the other end. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. We are watching it live. Pat Amelia here. You're there. That's back to the Katyn Monument. Can somebody actually find out? I pronounce this different every time I look at the word. Every time I look at the name, I pronounce it different. Now, getting back to community input, yeah, should just downtown be involved in it? It's probably a citywide issue. It's on the city waterfront, so everybody should have a say in it. We all have skin in the game, I guess. We're all Jersey City residents. One of the many reasons that have come up, and I'm telling you, they should play music when people start talking about the reason for moving this, because there's a lot of dancing going on, is the festivals that are held there. There's a couple of concerts, there's, whatever festival they put on there. I'm going to tell you, ask the people from McAllen, they're probably not crazy about having the festivals out there either. Well, that's the reason. Oh, we have these festivals, and then there's this frightening statue in the middle of our festivals. It takes the festivity out of the festival. It takes fest out of the festival. Again, the thing's been there for 30 years, and they've had numerous festivals. Nobody's ever run crying because they've seen this statue. And Mayor Fulop has said there is precedent. The statue had been moved before, apparently a whopping 2 feet. Moved it over a little bit. I'm not sure. That's the opening the city's looking for here. The real reason the statue needs to move is the developer and the BID there. It doesn't want it there anymore. That's it. The word gruesome was used. You can't walk that back. The main developer, the money people, are saying, hey, get that thing out of here. So it's going to go 200 feet, it looks like. That's the compromise that has been reached. Of all the decisions and situations Mayor Fulop has been in the 4+ years he's been mayor of Jersey City, I guess it's coming up on, it's coming up on 5 years, right? May, June, yeah, it's coming up on 5 years. He has completely fumbled this. City Hall has completely fumbled this thing. We made an issue out of something that should have never been. Whenever money wants to change the history of Jersey City, in this case moving this statue, there's going to be a problem. Somebody should have came up with real reasoning and coaching before this got out into the public. For the developer to say, it's gruesome, it's not attractive, that just dug everybody's heels in. It is a Jersey City monument. We've been looking at it for 30 years. When you come up the Hudson River, you see it. When you're riding downtown Jersey City, you see it. This thing, you can't help but see it. And you can't help unsee it. You know, it's a shame that we're in this situation, and I'm in the camp of leaving it where it is. Now, I understand, you know, moving a couple hundred feet isn't the biggest deal in the world. You know, Columbus on Journal Square, this guy has been all over Journal Square. We've moved Columbus at least 3 times. We had him pointing the wrong way for a while in Jersey City. I think I was under Jerry McCann. Statues can be moved, but you have to have a real good reason, and not a disrespectful reason or a financial greedy reason to do it. But when you talked about art, and when you're saying it's gruesome, it doesn't pertain to Jersey City, it does pertain to Jersey City. It's been here for 30 years. There was a large Polish community here in downtown Jersey City. A lot of it's gone, but the commitment to that group of people and that nationality shouldn't, you know, dissipate. We made the commitment. We have it. The statue should stay where it is. But I really, you know, one of these days we'll bring Philip on the show and I'll say, tell me about the conversation that was had when we're going to move this. And is anybody sitting in there with his kitty corp group saying, yeah, let's just move it. No, it's just a statue. Nobody foreseen that there was going to be a problem? Some kind of kickback on this, huh? Well, I shouldn't use the word kickback. Pushback. Sports betting in Jersey City. In New Jersey, it is now going to be legal. Now, Gamblers Anonymous. You see that on the lottery ticket, and they always say part of the money is going to Gamblers Anonymous. There is going to be a gambling situation in New Jersey you've never seen before, because it's going to be very easy to place bets on the Giants and the Jets and football. Football more than basketball or baseball. I think you really got to be a betting junkie to bet on baseball and football. It is another vice that is now fell. In the old days, running the numbers, used number runners. You used to have bookies all over the place. Everybody knew a bookie before the New Jersey lottery. When the New Jersey lottery came about, that was it for bookies. Within a very short span of time, bookies were gone. There's still bookies out there, but they do most of the betting. Most of the money they take in is on sports betting, predominantly the NFL season. But there was a time, it was a 365 business, playing the numbers, but then we legalized that. State made a ton of money, and then we mismanaged the lottery. You know, we privatized it, we leased it away for 10 years, and now we're losing money on it. Gambling, casino gambling. One time that was illegal in New Jersey. Craps and cards, you know, and that was all illegal. You got busted for playing craps in the street. Saying you can make money on that. We legalized gambling in Atlantic City. It became a mecca. It was a printing press for money for the state of New Jersey. We were making it until other states got involved, and New Jersey didn't read the tea leaves, didn't read the signs that that well was running dry. Now there's a comeback going on. How successful will be the renaissance of Atlantic City? I don't know, but there was another vice that fell. We will soon legalize marijuana in New Jersey. Probably not this year now, but it will happen because money can be made from it. You know, there are people who are doing time for selling pot or being caught with pot. Careers, you know, you're trying to get a job and you got a pot bust on your record. I don't know how we go back and retroactively remove these things once we legalize this, but, you know, I guess you broke the law when it was against the law, so it stays on your record even though we legalized it. That vice is going to fall. You know, the only other big vice that you can make money on is prostitution. Now, when we legalize, well, when we start doing the sports betting, that is going to have a dramatic effect on illegal activities. You want to say the mob, the mafia, There's gangs that do the sports betting and take the numbers. This will have a dramatic impact on illegal operations. Now, the upper level illegal operators, they'll figure another way, but they will never find anything that generates profit like sports betting. And once we legalized it and once we get it up and running, it's going to make a ton of money for the state of New Jersey. And that's what we're going to pick up on when we come back. You watching the Jersey City Show? I'll be right back. Plaza Autobody, 700 Tunley Avenue in Jersey City. Your local collision specialist. Body and fender repair. On-site oven-baked paintwork. Fiberglass repair experts. Custom and classic car restoration. All insurance is welcome. 24-hour towing available. Licensed by the state of New Jersey. Plaza Autobody, 700 Tunley Avenue, 201-222-3050. Plaza Autobody, your bumper-to-bumper buddy.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. You're watching me, Pat Amelia. Let's go back to sports betting. Yeah, the illegal empires are going to have a problem, which will probably force them into more drugs, into more prostitution, into more loan sharking, that sort of thing. It could get ugly. One thing I want to bring up is who we really have to thank for this, and that's Ray Lesniak, the former senator. He's on my list for the show we're talking about doing icons. I want to bring Ray in. Ray's no longer in politics. Well, at least he's no longer a state senator. I believe he'll have his place in politics. He's a guy I want to look forward to interviewing on icons, and maybe we'll even bring him in. Maybe see if we can get him for Thursday's show, bring him in through the internet. He's the guy that fought for this long ago to get the sports betting. Now, that Exxon settlement, no, Ray Lesniak doesn't let go of things, but he stayed on this, and, they should bring him down to Trenton and give him a badge or something, because he's the guy that made this happen. Now, the money that's going to come from sports betting will make the lottery look like bingo. There is going to be a ton of money made for the states, and there's a lot of interesting intrigue into this. As we're trying to vet all this out now. Of course, the mob's going to take a hit on it. The sports leagues themselves are going to want to cut on this. And I think I seen something where Ray Lesniak has said, well, screw the sports leagues. They fought us for years. Now they want what's called an integrity fee, 2 or 3%. Ray's probably right on that, but the leagues are going to get what they want. Mark Cuban, he owns the Dallas Mavericks from Shark Tank, that guy, said that all sports teams from the major sports, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, the value just doubled because of the sports betting. Isn't that kind of scary? You're going to see it's going to be so easy to bet from your phone, your app, and that's how it's going to be. Right now, it is truly a savior for Monmouth Park, the Meadowlands, the casinos in Atlantic City. This is a huge boost. But there is going to be one hell of a price to pay. You want to talk about Gamblers Anonymous? This is going to, I seen it with the sports betting. I seen it, my own eyes, with people making the bets, doing a 5-timer, trying to win back from the 1 o'clock games. That's how it works. You lose on 1 and you try to get it back on 4. The college funds, rent, all that stuff is going. There's going to be probably 30 states that are going to be involved in this ruling. New Jersey's the forefront. We're the ones that pushed it. You're not going to have a loose group of states having different methods of betting and payments and bigs and integrity fees and taxes. You can look for the federal government to step in and say, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, and it's going to be operated by the federal government. They will standardize through all the states. You can take it to the bank. Jersey can say what they want, and all the other states. The feds are going to say we're going to standardize this. What happens in Jersey will be the same in Maryland or Nebraska or wherever the hell else it is. And you're going to see that integrity fee because for whatever reason, it affects about 30 or 32 states, and there's 50 of us. You could see that integrity fee used to lure teams away from states that don't have the betting, and there's no integrity fee. That integrity fee, 2-3% on each bet, that could be a hell of a lot of money for the NFL franchises are going to rake in profit here. And that profit is going to come from the little guys. Believe me, nobody wins every weekend. Nobody, at the end of the football season, you're very lucky if you broke even. Now, these guys who set those lines, they are pros, and they know how to get the money from you. And even when you bet with the books, there's a big in there. There's money to be made. So you can take it to the bank. We're going to have a situation with Gamblers Anonymous that you've never seen before. And that was one of the things one of the assembly people at the state senator said, well, we can get more money now for Gamblers Anonymous, more funding. You're going to need a lot. What I would like to see, now we're going to have this money coming in, and I spoke about this on the other shows, a good percentage of that be dedicated to property tax relief. Just because we got new money coming in doesn't mean we should spend it. We should go back and again get the house in order. Don't come up with all new plans and new programs because we got new money coming in. Try to take care of the nuts and bolts of Jersey City. And property tax relief should be the main goal of this new influx of revenue coming in. And don't forget, the pot, that money is going to come in probably starting next year. So these things are going to happen in the state. And hopefully, we look at that and we see these millions coming in and say, we can give these people some property tax relief. And I can't emphasize this enough with Governor Murphy. He has got to mandate shared services. It is important. You know, I host the Tom River show, and I'll probably shoot that later on today. And there was a situation with potholes. Now, I'll probably do some pothole stuff here in the last segment. News 12 had the footage. Somebody had a dash cam on. Guy's on Route 37 heading towards Seaside Heights. Hits a pothole, flies off the bike. You know, guy's injured, and it's all on film, all on chip anyway. That pothole shouldn't be there because Route 37 is a friggin' nightmare. If you go into Seaside Heights, my kid's got a house down there, so I go down and we got the studio down there, so I get to ride 37 a lot. Tom's River in Ocean County shouldn't be friggin' waiting for the state to come and do that. They should have an agreement, whether the county or the town has an agreement with the state to do these potholes. Because that person on that motorcycle shouldn't have had the accident from hitting a friggin' pothole. Well, we know what potholes are like here. Shared services have to be mandated. Mayor Fulop and Brian Stack, one of the things Brian Stack's talking about with the CDO, the county doesn't do enough for the average person. I'll argue that I think Tom DeGise has done a pretty damn good job with the county. He is, he's got us out of rented properties. He's not writing rent checks to developers and landlords anymore. That money stays in the county. I suppose with anyone you can throw rocks at them, but the shared services, that's something that I can see Brian Stack saying, get the county involved with Jersey City and Union City, and we figure out like road paving. Well, Jersey City got a lot of roads. Let Jersey City buy road paving equipment. We would save our own money, and we could do road paving for the county or the Union City and make money that way. But that's what has to be mandated. Somehow we have to mandate shared services. And really, when you get down to it, for the property taxpayers here, do we need every Jersey City? Now, Hudson County, there's 12 municipalities, got 12 like police chiefs. Do we need all this, 12 road departments and 12 DPWs, all that? We don't need that. There could be shared services, and it would save you money. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Jersey City Show. I'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers, Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. Now I'm back. You see me for briefly. Last segment, Bike Week. It's Bike to Work Week in Jersey City, and there's something every day. Every day there's going to be something going on. First off, bike people, take an effing breath, huh? Problem with bike people, we want bike lane. We want buffer lane. We want this. We want that. You know, friggin' used to, people rode bikes in Jersey City for years and years. We didn't have any bike lanes. We didn't have no buffer lanes. There weren't, like, you know, bodies at the end of the day on the sidewalks and getting by cars. And two, I would like to see bike traffic ride against the traffic so I can see these knuckleheads coming instead of them riding along with me, because I don't see them until they cut me off. And two, I would like it that they can see me give them the finger when they're riding towards me. But, you know, when I look at the bikes, and I tell you we're going to do this, we're going to film how many people we're going to really see riding bikes every day, and I'll wait till it gets good weather, compared to automotive. And it's probably like 2% of the population. We talk about the 1%ers. You know, there's maybe 2% of the population that's using bikes. And I'm going to make a big commitment, money-wise, to protect the bike lanes with buffer lanes and all that. And, you know, maybe if we did the bike lanes and we could put wheelchairs in there and the jazzies and we could put people on the skateboards. But then the bikers are like, oh, no. Don't put the wheelchairs or jazzies in there. Monday, it was giveaways. I think it's next week. I should check when this thing starts anyway. But I tell you, Monday you're going to have giveaways and information at the Jersey City Office of Cultural Affairs at Plaza at the Exchange Place from 11 to 2. I think this is next week. I don't think it's this week. Tuesday discovers the cycling possibilities of a car-free Hudson Loop presented by the Harborside Atrium and receive a bike tune-up. Tune up your bikey. Wednesday, visit Grove Street Bicycles at Exchange Place. I think they sell bikes there. You got a free tune-up again. Hear about the Vision Zero, which doesn't freaking work in Jersey City. I'm not even sure it works that well in New York City. But it's copied from New York City, and we're not New York City. Thursday. Oh, it's a panel discussion at the Harborside Atrium. Everything's the Harborside because the only place anybody uses bikes down there in Jersey City. Highlighting women in cycling. That's good. On Friday, it's Bike to Work with Mayor Steve Fuller from 8 to 9 a.m., starting at the Riverview Fisk Park on Palisade Avenue. You can ride behind Steve. Steve will take his bike and put it in the back of his big black SUV, and they'll head to City Hall. Hate on Twitter. You know, two of the people that I was tweeting with yesterday, one I have a lot of respect for. She's been tweeting for years. She said that Mayor Fulop hates her. I said, hates her? Man, that's a pretty strong word. I've been dealing with Steve Fulop for like 15-some-odd years now. Now, we've been on different sides of the argument and issues, and we have no problem expressing our opinions to each other. And, you know, Steve has said things to me like, you have any idea what you're talking about? You're freaking clueless. You know, where do you get your information from? And I've taken him to task on some of his initiatives and governmental moves, but I don't do personal stuff. Now, one of the things people were talking, personal issues and personal, but I don't get into personal. I do government and politics. To say a mayor hates you, boy, I tell you, that's pretty. I don't think Steve hates anyone. Now, they question mayor's vision or his development. All mayors have different visions. And probably the most visionary mayor I ever dealt with was Glenn D. Cunningham. Glenn would look at this city, and he's seen a different city. He's really, I honestly believe, he's seen what could be. I remember him talking about moving all City Hall and its departments into Dickerson and building like 3 separate high schools to cut down on the huge population of Dickerson. And, you know, it's probably a great idea. And I remember down at the Flamingo. We wanted to relocate the Flamingo. It was a restaurant. I don't even know where the Flamingo is today. It's still there, but it's not the Flamingo. And I remember looking at him and said, do you see the same city I see? And he goes, no, I see a city that what could be. And I say, I see a Flamingo over there. I remember telling him, so if you turn around, you see the Flamingo over here. Mayors have a completely different vision because they can get things done. Do they have egos? Yes, they have egos. I don't know, and I've been dealing with these mayors daily since Brett Schumler. I don't think any mayor has ever hated any of the critics. I don't think Steve Fulop hates Terrence. I know he doesn't hate me, and I just would. You know what? His biggest critic in Jersey City, Michael Young, councilman from Ward D. The three of us just recently were in a meeting, and within a half hour, these guys agreed on what had to be changed and what solutions we needed. And supposedly, these two guys are arch enemies. No, they weren't. They took care of the business at hand with the city. Was there any hatred? I tell you, if Fulop was going to hate somebody, it would have been Michael Young. There was no hatred there. They were talking about things in Korea. They were talking about the statue, talked about what issues we were there for at City Hall. There was no hate there. I have a feeling that some people kind of like the idea that the mayor hates them. Oh, he hates me. He doesn't hate you. You may think he hates you. You may want him to hate you, but he doesn't hate you. There's always another issue. Again, going back to Glenn Cunningham, I did a lot of things in the city on the Glen. Under Mayor Healy, we didn't accomplish a lot. Healy really wasn't the most proactive mayor we had. You know, I'll get more things done with Mayor Fulop than I ever did with Healy, but nothing to the level of Glenn Cunningham. And Glenn and I, he was my friend and my foe. It depended on the day and it depended on the issue. But one thing Glenn and I both knew, there was going to be another issue. So there was never any blood feud or take it to heart. You know, I'm never going to talk to you again. I'll never vote for you again. There's going to be another issue, people. You know, I'm married 40 years in July. I don't get along, well, I don't agree, I should say, with my wife on every issue. You're not going to agree with your mayor on every issue. But I tell you, that's a very powerful position. When Fulop looks out that window of City Hall, he has a different vision. He is going to put his fingerprint on Jersey City. You may not agree with that, but he's the guy. He's the guy that's going to figure out. It's like the annex, the City Hall annex up in the hub. Don't agree with it. Don't agree with any of the funding. I don't agree with any of that. But I didn't get elected mayor. That was his vision. He thinks this is going to work. You know, the hub was supposed to be a renaissance up there. That didn't work, and that was from a different administration of Brett Schumler. I probably wouldn't have agreed with that, but if you can create jobs, I'm in. Cut the hate, everybody. Nobody's hating anyone. But we're out of the show, and I don't hate you. You be good, you be safe. I'll talk to you Thursday on the Hudson County Show. Good night.